look, we can only speak for each other, right? But I remember being a kid, and you were the guy. You were the guy. We all went out and got the poster. We all went out and got your sneakers, and we'd all just talk about you all the time. And then when you decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and play baseball, the point that I'm making is that every one of us liked you. And there was nothing negative about it. It's like, oh, if he wants to go play baseball, and oh no, wait a minute, he's going to play football now too? Like, this is so exciting. I don't know that it would have gone that well if you were a college kid deciding to do that now. Do you ever think of how different it would have been if you made that kind of decision today?
Well, I could speak for myself. If I were 21, 22 years old, I think I can compete on that level, but 99.99% of the kids can't. And I'm not. And the reason that I'm saying that is because the gene pool, the talent pool is so deep. And it would be hard to cut the mustard in both sports now, especially on the professional level. You are trying to cut the mustard at both sports. You're ending up being second string in both sports.
But I think what Ryan's getting at too, and I tend to agree with that. I hate it where we are today, is you see so much specialization. Like you see, parents, coaches are saying you have to play this sport. You have to play one sport.
I believe in letting a kid be a kid. Don't pigeonhole a kid to do what you love as a parent. Let that kid and go out and experience sports from every angle, from every aspect that there is, because what you as a parent may like and love, it may not be his or her passion. Let him go out and choose the sport that he wants to play. And as far as, it's getting ridiculous how you watch how parents are living vicariously through their kids and so forth and so on. Do you think my kid has a chance of making it to the big leagues? Your kid's 7 years old. Let him play. Let him go out. Let him catch butterflies in the outfield when he's supposed to. Let him be a kid. But it's ridiculous.
Bo, watching the 30 for 30 on you was awesome. Have there ever been lies about the legend of your athleticism that you've heard that isn't true, but you're okay with it?
There's only one, yes. Well, it wasn't a lie that stretched the truth a little bit. When they said, this was with the pig killing incident, where they say I jumped over a 40-foot ditch. It was about. See, I jumped from
35.
That's the thing with you. We don't know.
It was over 20 feet, but I jumped from an incline. So I jumped from up here to the bank down here.
Okay.
And I had about a 40-yard head start too. So I had a little hot sauce on me when I went across when I jumped, because somebody shot. Hey, and pow, they shot in the air, and everybody thought, well, they're shooting at us, so we scattered like deer, and gone. And I jumped the fence, ran, and jumped over the ditch. Well, the day before, it had rained hard there, and when I landed on the other side, because in Alabama it's just red clay, and it was a bank, it was a up, and it was an incline. And when I landed, I sunk down to my calves. So I pulled one foot out with the shoe on it, and the other shoe stayed stuck in the mud. So that, it had to been it. I could have cleared 20, 25 feet there. So no, it wasn't 40 feet. It wasn't 40 feet.
Good to straighten that out.
Yeah.
I like the good straight. Well, you like being a mentor. You like playing that role to younger athletes.
Yes.
Did you ever reach out to Cam Newton?
Oh, Cam is like my third son.
What was your advice to him through this year, both the good and the bad?
Go out and let your game speak for itself. Period. I talk to Cam. I try to talk to him on a regular basis, about once every month or so. And the things that I tell him are the same things that I would tell my 29-year-old sons. I talk to him like a dad. I don't sugarcoat anything. And some of the things that I say to him, I say to my kids that I can't repeat on air. So I am a fan, but I am more so a father figure to him, because I know with him being in the position that he's in, and we have all been in that position to where we have a bunch of yes people just around us, and they aren't willing to tell you what you need to hear. And I'm going to always tell you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. So
I do want to go back to that day when you decided to at least make the announcement that you were going to play baseball. How different could it have gone had, like, you just didn't want to play in the NFL for Tampa, right?
I didn't want to play for Tampa, no.
So if it was anybody else, what would have happened?
If it would have been the 49ers, more than likely, I probably would have still tried out for baseball somewhere if they had let me. But I told Tampa, don't draft me. They screwed me, so I decided that I'm going to put the screws to you.
And what they did, can you revisit? I know the story, but I don't know that every listener
being
understood it.
The first-round draft pick, they let you go visit the city and the team that is scheduled to have the first pick, and you know that they're going to draft you. Well, the owners got in touch with me and my people and said that, well, the owner is going to send his jet up to pick you up. And the first thing that we said was that, is it okay with the NCAA? Have everybody check with the NCAA to see if it was okay, because I don't want to screw anything up. And they came back to us a couple of days, say, yes, we checked, and everybody said that it was okay.
Because you want to stay eligible still for baseball.
Because I want to stay eligible for baseball, yes. And I took the trip, went down and sat down and had a fun time. I hung out with the Hugh Greens and all those guys, and I had a nice time. And a couple of days later, I get back and we got a baseball game, and I'm getting dressed. And I fully dressed, and I'm walking across the parking lot to go to the baseball field. I walk into the stadium, and my head coach walks to the side and he said, Bo, can I speak to you for a minute? And he asked me, he said, did you take a trip to Tampa the other day on a private jet? I said, yeah, the owner sent his jet up to get me. I said, they checked with the NCAA to make sure that it was okay. And he said, Bo, the NCAA called and said that they never did, and they have declared you ineligible for the rest of your senior season. And at the time, I was batting 500-600 with about a dozen, and we were only about 3 weeks into the season. I had a dozen or so home runs, just tearing the season up. And the more I thought about it, the more I understood that the reason they did that, because they knew the season that I was having, and they said, well, if we can get him out of baseball, that he'll play football. So, and I am the type of person, you step on my foot, I'm going to stomp on yours to let you know, don't step on my foot again, period. So one turn of the screw deserves another, so I screwed it right back to him. And I told him numerous of times, if you draft me, you're going to waste a draft pick. I said, I swear to God, you're going to waste a draft pick. And they drafted me anyway. And the proof's in the pudding. They lost a draft pick, and I ended up playing with a team that I was probably meant to play for, just period. When it's in the cards for you, it's in the cards for you. And it was not in the cards for me to go to Tampa Bay, period.
We've been talking a lot about Steph Curry and his greatness in basketball, and we've also been talking about how players from past eras are kind of having a hard time acknowledging how great he is. When you look at yourself, the way you played, who do you think compares to you in today's game? Does anybody come close to it?
Steph Curry's close. Now, I'm going to give the man his props. I don't watch basketball, I don't watch football, and I don't watch baseball. But every time you turn the news on and they're talking about basketball, Steph Curry's dropping three-pointers from the Raptors, from the stands, and that's what he do. That's what he do. And the country, the world has taken notice of this kid and his three-point shooting skills. He is phenomenal. I would compare him to, if they were going to do a video game of Steph Curry, I talked about this earlier, it would be the Tecmo Bowl of basketball. Would it be Steph Curry? Yeah. You give him the ball on the other end of the court with a half a second left, and he'd throw it up and he'd make it for 3. That's just him. He is a nice kid. I like the way he carries himself. And but you just have to give the kid his props. I personally think that he'll rewrite the 3-point history book. He will do that. He will do that. So I have to give my props out to him.
So you're referencing his dominance in relation to that sweep toss with you and Tecmo Bowl, the 4 plays with our choice.
4th down and 36. Optioned it to me. And go.
That is College Football Hall of Famer Bo Jackson and quite possibly the greatest athlete of the 20th century.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, highlights, and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.